back to the cage as DJ Smith takes on Ethan McGee of Vision MMA, 145-pound bout.
Yeah, DJ Smith, interesting. Took his first fight in more than 6 years back in May. Picked up a win over Jeremy Langley, representing, as I mentioned, Patriot MMA out of Covington, Kentucky. 5-9 record. And I think you can kind of probably throw out the first, portion of his career and really kind of almost a start, second fresh start. Now almost kind of 1-0 here.
Yeah.
Extremely tall guy for 145, 6'2".
Yeah, for sure. For that weight class, definitely really tall. It'd be good to see what he does as far as like if he's going to try to stand with Ethan or if he's going to try to go to the ground. Ethan's really well-rounded too, so it'll be a good fight.
And Ethan McGee also making his return to the cage, but I talked to DJ Smith, after the last Hardrock show, and really, really passionate guy. There were some interesting circumstances at the last show, and he was pretty fired up about his warrior spirit and how much he loves being a fighter and how he knows what he's doing and every time he steps into the cage. So really interesting, kind of passionate guy.
Absolutely.
35 years old now, though, which is another coming back after 6 years off and now 35 years old. It's got to be tough, getting back into the cage after such a long extended layoff.
Yeah, and the thing is too is like, you worry about the ring rust, and then you also.
Ethan McGee fighting for the first time since October 2015 when he lost to David Rankin. David is undefeated. I believe David was like 5-0 or 6-0 at that point.
Yeah.
It was a title fight. And Ethan McGee, also the former Spartan FC featherweight champion from back in 2013. This guy took his fight when he first started fighting. I think he was just 18 years old, and representing Vision. Just a bunch of tough guys coming out of that camp, and now finally getting back in the cage. Lost last 4 fights in a row though for Ethan McGee, and now.
Yeah, and don't let that fool you, because Ethan doesn't take easy fights on people. So. Again, it's one of those things where records, you can't go off that. And again, you're fighting a Vision guy. So anytime you're fighting a Vision guy, again, it's not going to be a walkthrough in the park.
And McGee, a guy who's been in 4 or 5 title fights in his career.
Yeah.
So, and also has 15 total fights.
Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 146 pounds. Representing Psychopath MMA from Ellesmere, Kentucky, DJ the Roman Smith. And his opponent fighting out of the B2 digital blue corner, weighing in at 144 pounds. Representing Vision MMA from Cincinnati, Ohio, Ethan McGee.
You hear the loud ovation there for Ethan McGee. I know a lot of people excited to see him back in the cage here. Getting almost 2 years out of the cage.
Yeah.
Still just 23 years old, though, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, exactly. The thing with Ethan is he's going to want to stand. His boxing is really good, so he's definitely going to want to show that off.
Yeah, one of the things never seen him fight live before, the striking of Ethan. Very technical striker, whereas DJ is going to be a lot more unorthodox.
DJ with the big height advantage into his guard.
Has a rubber guard here.
Yeah.
Working off of his back. I was going to say Ethan with that nice ankle pick takedown.
Yep.
Dropping levels and going all the way down to the ankle. Rubber guard's an interesting position, especially for MMA, because it's a very defensive position. But with really long limbs like a guy like DJ Smith has, sometimes it's just kind of there, and that's really the first thing you grab onto. Ethan McGee now looking at in half guard, dropping that left shoulder into the chin of DJ Smith, and that is a way to finish a Von Flue choke if DJ would have kept control of that head. Ethan now
posturing up, throwing some punches, some knees
nice
to the
knee
body.
to the body there. Ethan now teeing off here.
Yep, he's going back to the legs.
I'm surprised
Go for a slam.
I'm surprised he didn't try to just tee off there and try to finish the fight.
Told you he was going to wrestle. Come on, keep it up.
DJ Smith again on his back as Ethan McGee and half guard.
Some ground and pound from Ethan. Big
Nice.
hammer fist.
Yeah, nice hammer fist. He did a good job using that elbow to push himself off. This might get stopped here. John House taking a close look. And
he
John
stopped
House.
it.
Nice.
And it's DJ seems to be okay, but you see a guy teeing off like that, and you're not really trying to advance your position. The referee, more often than not, is going to stop the fight.
Yep.
Of course, John House, experienced ref in there, done a lot of shows. And Ethan McGee, though, the storyline here,
After his hiatus.
almost 2 years off, comes back and looks and showed some wrestling.
Okay.
It's interesting, but then finishes the fight with his strikes. And
Ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute and 51 seconds of the very first round. Your winner by referee stoppage due to unanswered strikes, Ethan McGee.
And true to form, Ethan McGee looks like he's pretty indifferent towards the win.
Yeah.
He's an interesting guy with a ton of talent and